You're not really the type of guy who takes offense to anything, really. I kind of feel like a lot of fighters, they might take something the wrong way, but you kind of let it roll off your back, or you might agree with them no matter what. So was kind of curious on your whole thoughts on what Canelo said. Like, David is a good fighter, hasn't accomplished that much for one former world champion. Do you agree with him? And is that like another reason why you wanted to fight a guy like Uzcategui? Or are you kind of looking at Canelo like, listen, dog, you can fight me right now? Like, how did you kind of take what he was saying, man?
Yeah, whatever everything he was saying is bullshit. I mean, there's rankings in the WBC for a reason. I won two back-to-back title eliminators, now the one in the interim belt. I mean, that's the fight everybody's talking about. Who fucking cares if I fought one world champion? If I'm so easy, like how he says, and you're not scared to beat me, come beat me. It's as simple as that. Mike Tyson wants to see the fight. Juan Manuel Marquez wants to see the fight. Chavez wants to see the fight. Everybody wants to see this fucking fight. So why would he come out saying with some bullshit that I'm not fighting another Mexican fighter? His whole career, he's fought a number of Mexican fighters. And the only Mexican fighter that people want to see him in the ring against is me. And the only other one is Zurdo. So, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of stupid, bro. But yeah, it's just been pissing me off, bro. But I mean, it is what it is. I feel like my job, what I have to do is just keep winning, and the fight's eventually going to happen. And I'm going to be extremely ready for when that happens. I feel like him, Caleb Plant, Charlo, all these guys, bro. I can run through them. They're gonna be tough fights, but I know that I have exactly what it takes to beat all these guys. So that's why I have tremendous confidence and I believe in myself. And that's what you have to do as a fighter, as a world person that you think is the best. You have to believe in yourself. Even if I was fighting a fucking heavyweight, I gotta believe that I'm better than this guy and I can knock him out. But that's just how it is. And the people from the outside, they don't see it like that because they're not professional boxers. They don't believe in themselves. That's why they're not professional boxers, because they can't motivate themselves of being there with great champions and actually beat them. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't really try to get caught up in what people say, because at the end of the day, they're not working like how I'm working. They're not going through the shit I'm going through. I've been boxing for 22 years. Person that's talking shit outside, through Instagram, they don't know anything. They can't even run 2 miles. So that's why I just like roll. I let I brush that shit off. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm capable of.
Gotcha. Side note, I ran 5 miles today. Just side note. So, but also wanted to know, Canelo. I mean, that is the fight, man. Like that's the fight. But it kind of seems like he might be maybe preoccupied next year. He is angling to get that Bivol rematch. And then, if he decides to get another fight in, it would seem like all signs would point to you anyways. But how easy or how hard is it for you to not really pay attention to that? And I only ask that because for like a few other guys, they kind of keep mentioning Canelo's name. For you, you mention his name, but you also mention the other guys. So is it
Yeah.
easier for you to just like not pay attention to him because you have all these other great fighters that are like in front of you?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the route we're gonna take is it's the smarter route. I feel like I could beat Canelo now, but the thing that he does have over everybody's experience. So if I beat these three guys I have, in my way, I'll feel even more comfortable being there and to get a victory with Canelo. And that's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna be out for the next year. So I think it's gonna be me and Nuska taking them, me and Caleb Plant, and then maybe Morel. And then after that, there's going to be, if I beat all those guys, and who else is Canelo going to fight at 168? Unless he just vacates all the belts. I mean, there's nobody else from the fight. You know what I mean? So I feel like the walls are just closing in. That's why I don't even care about. I don't really got to mention his name too much, because the other thing that pisses me off too is a lot of fucking fans and trolls be like, oh, he wants a payday, he wants a handout. I'm like, bro, I'm the number one in the WBC. This is, I just want what was given to me. I don't want the opportunity. But a lot of people don't see it like that. But like I said, I just got to stay ready. I got to stay winning and, keep looking impressive.
Do you think, in your honest opinion, do you think he's the same guy who was, pound for pound number one before he lost to Bivol? Or, because I've spoken to a few other guys and they're just like, he's still a great fighter, but he's kind of slipping a little bit. Do you see a little bit of slippage, man?
I think he's just fighting bigger. It's just that he's fighting bigger fighters with more punching power. When he beat when he had that run at 168, it was a good run. He beat who was the first guy he beat?
Rocky Fielding.
The one that's Rocky Fielding, and then Callum Smith, and then Billy Joe Sanders, and then Caleb Plant. Besides from Callum Smith, all those dudes didn't have no punching power, bro. They have no punching power. And then when you put him in there with a bigger guy that has good punching power, he looks different. You know what I mean? So that's what I bring to the table for this fight. I have punching power, speed, and I have a great jab, and I have great body shots. You know what I mean? So he's not just going to be walking through my shots like he did with Caleb Plant or how he did with Billy Joe Sanders. And that's what poses a threat, too. Once you have a fighter that's bigger than you and has as much or probably more punching power than you, throwing back at you at the same rate that you punch, that's when it's going to get complicated. You know what I mean? Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Sanders, they're landing some good shots, but they just had no power. That's why Canelo kept walking through him. And I guarantee you he's not going to be walking through my shots.
Granted. So you don't think Canelo's going to walk through your shots, but can you walk through his? Because, Canelo, he's throwing some heat, man.
Yeah, well, this is what we're in boxing for. This is what we're training for. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of nobody. If you go in there already being like, oh, fuck, let's see if this shot hurts, then you already defeated yourself. This goes back to what I said. If I in my head believe I could go in there and knock a heavyweight out or a light heavyweight out, I got to be ready for anything. At the end of the day, this is boxing, bro. You're going to get hit either way. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff you could do. Like I'm saying, you could do neck workouts, you could do ab workouts, you could do all that shit. You know what I mean? So it's just preparing until you get to that spot to be ready. I mean, to win the throne, you're going to have to go through hell. But I feel like I'm capable of going through hell and coming back and getting through everything with the win.
Man, I really like that quote. To win the throne, you got to go through hell. I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
That's a good one.